So what's really funny is, well, I guess not funny, but just interesting, is when you told me that if I want to do this scan, it's complimentary. I was like, complimentary? Okay, what does that really mean? Because you know what they say, there's no free lunch in America, right?
Right.
And so I'm like, okay, what's the catch? Well, there is no catch. There is no catch. Should I repeat it? There is no catch. You do this unbelievable voice scan, and the energy from your voice picks up all the things that are going on in your body from head to toe. And it's the most comprehensive report that I think I've gotten in the last year of going to the doctor to find out why I feel so crummy when I eat so healthy.
Yeah, it's actually an incredible scan because everything in this world is vibration and energy and frequency. And that's exactly what it does is when you say I am Laura Cross or I am whatever your first and last name is, it is your true vibration and frequency and energy that comes out that scan reads. I mean, it's thousands of vibrations, but it brings it down to just the four vibrations, the three highest, the one lowest, and it tells us what we need to do to bring you back into balance.
I know, but you know what really is interesting for me is, I've referred a lot of people to you and they've done the scan and they're so happy and they're doing really well, right?
Right.
But then there's other people who go, yeah, I don't feel good. And the doctor can't find out what's wrong with me. And I got this problem and that problem. And then you tell them, listen, if you want to do this complimentary voice scan, we can help you find out what's causing these issues. And they're like, no, I don't want to do that. Well, why not? If your doctor isn't helping you, like mine was not, why wouldn't you want to do something that at least gives you some information to move forward? And I don't know if it's the time we're living in or what is going on, but when you're trying to help people and something doesn't cost any money, they're very skeptical. But go on Instagram and there's a cream that's going to take away your dark spots that from a person you don't even know. And everybody's like, yeah, I'm buying this because it's going to be awesome.
Yeah. Holistic, a lot of people have trouble wrapping their head around holistic, medicine and versions and things that you can do because I always try to tell people your body is the best MRI tool, blood work you will ever have. You just have to know how to listen to it. And this voice scan is helps you tell talk to your body, tell your body what, your body can tell you what it's trying to tell you. Now, some people have trouble wrapping their head around it, and that's okay. And if you want, by all means, take your report and bounce it off your doctor. I suggest going to a naturopath or somebody that is well versed in toxicology, integrative medicine, functional medicine, or lifestyle medicine, because that's what we're talking about. We're talking about making lifestyle changes and integrative medicines, things to help you so that you're not dependent on medications or doctors. You're more informed of what's going on with your body. And I think it can, if nothing else, help you have a more informative conversation with your doctor.
Absolutely. But I think you put it best when I asked you, I remember asking you, how does this voice scan work? And how is it going to pick up the energy to tell me what's wrong in my body? And you explained it so well about it being like kind of like an MRI. So explain it to people so they understand.
Yeah. So it does. So your body, our blood is rushing through. That changes every second. And so what it does is when you do your voice and you say, I am so and so, it is reading everything from your body at that moment in time because it's a snapshot. You can, just like blood work, just like if you were to actually go to the doctors and do blood work, you could go get it done again 20, 30, 40 minutes later or a day later, and it could be totally different because our bodies are constantly in motion. It's constantly changing. The blood's constantly flowing. But that snapshot in time. So it comes up with everything, and it will even show you in your stomach, like if you had gas or bloating, it's going to show us that. It can tell us. And I love the reactions of people because they're like, how did you know that? It'll show where you've had bones that haven't healed For me, I have one where it has shown my jaw and it asked if I had TMJ or if I clench my teeth at night. I've been told by dentists I'm supposed to have a night guard, and that's exactly what it shows. It shows where damage is happening and that it's still there. It's still present within my body and it's still causing problems.
Right. And I remember a few years ago going to the eye doctor because I go every year. And the eye doctor said, you have a very, very, very tiny little start of a cataract. And the scan picked up, oh, your right eye. Did you know that there's a little cataract growing? I know. Did you know that you have a little problem with bloating? I'm like, do I know? Hello, that's my biggest problem right now. And I don't know why. And when I found out that it's because I'm eating the wrong healthy foods, like for instance, fish. I'm a
Hmm.
pescatarian. All I eat is fish. Well, all the fish I love, I can't eat anymore because it's a little higher in mercury, but for some reason my body is not processing it. And I was eating it all the time. Right.
Right.
So now I eat the other fish that I can, but I'm also been very on the verge of becoming a vegetarian because there's only two fish now that I can eat. And although I like them, there isn't enough variety. So I'm finding more variety in the other foods that I eat. And it's really crazy that this is working. Plus I'm taking the best supplements I should be taking too. You
Yeah.
know? And I am gonna say, like, I have gained a little bit of weight, but the weight isn't falling off. But I do feel different. Like I feel healthier, even though I might not be losing a ton of weight, right? Because
Right.
I have some issues that I do need the doctor to help me with as well. But at least I know when I go to the doctor, I know exactly what's wrong instead of them telling me for 6 months, well, let's have this test and let's do that test because I'm not really sure. One voice scan and we're sure. So
Yeah.
I say, look, people out there that are listening, if you're having issues with your health, if your doctors are giving you the runaround and telling you there's nothing wrong, but you know your body, honestly, this voice scan can be a game changer. And Laura is phenomenal, like phenomenal. I would not be sitting here if I didn't believe it. Cause you know me, I don't endorse anything unless I know it's 100%. And I know you for years and I trust you. And that's even more important than the scan.
Yeah, and I appreciate it. Yeah, and I couldn't do it without the help of, Dr. Grant, because he is a toxicologist, a biofeedback, the integrative medicine, the functional medicine, and lifestyle medicine. So it's always important to have someone that can help interpret that, especially when it gets into the blood work and all of the, different parts of the scans. And really it's just for us for to help people make recommendations. Yes, we have supplements that we know have a 98% absorbency. They're pure. They can absolutely make a difference in your life. I know they've made a difference in mine and my fiance's. He's been battling with type 2 diabetes, but we've been lowering the A1Cs. I've been sleeping better, losing weight, don't have all the gas and bloating. So, but there was things that were going on that I didn't even know until I had done the scan. And then when they popped up, it's like, oh, yep, got that too. Yep. Like you mentioned, the eyes. Okay. When they did my scan in November last year, all of a sudden it showed with my left eye. And he's like, what is going on with your left eye? And I'm like, I had just got done having an eye exam and they had just started saying that I was just starting to get astigmatism in my left eye. And that was in November. And I will tell you that I have my glasses and stuff, but right now that prescription is already not doing me very much good. I'm seeing better without my glasses than I do with my glasses. So the
So
supplements that I have been taking have actually been helping to reverse that and make my vision better, was my
that's
point.
awesome. So
But
you
yeah.
mentioned Dr. Grant. Not everybody knows Dr. Grant. I didn't know Dr. Grant when you first told me. So how is he involved in this? And give us a little background. Like if people want to go research who Dr. Grant is, where can they go find him and get some more information before they decide if they want to get in touch with you and do the scan?
Oh, absolutely. So, Dr. Grant, I had the pleasure of meeting as one of my guests on Mindful Mondays with Laura Cross, my TV show, because I always love bringing different perspectives and holistic people in there.
And by
Um,
the way, I have to interject. That's how Laura and I met because I was a guest on her show because I teach a course called Balance for Life and I help people get healthy by eating clean food. And who knew that after 7 years of eating clean food, I was going to have some problems as well.
Yeah. And I'm a true believer of, we can do more together than we can separate. So learning from different people all over the world and perspectives. Dr. Grant, a little bit of background on him. You can see his episode where he does talk about his on my show, but he lost his mother when he was 18 and she was 45. And so when he was 18 years old, that is when he started his journey down through medicine. He has been studying medicine, all different types, ever since then. He's got 3 bachelors, 3 masters, 3 doctorates. He's published over 400 papers, is one of the doctors behind discovering the process of what endorphins are and what they do. He's been an integral part in a lot of it. He even worked for the FDA and the CDC in Canada for 10 years because he is in Toronto, Canada. But he really embraces helping others to recognize what's going on and live a healthier life. Because as I said, he lost his mom when she was 45. He lost his dad and his other parents in their 60s. So he's living proof that you are not held to your genes because he comes from a
Exactly.
family of bad genes, and
Me
he will
too.
be he will be 75 next year. So he
I
has
know, which is
outlived.
crazy because he doesn't look 75 and he doesn't act 75 and there's nothing about 75 that's goes with him, agrees with
No,
him.
no. And he has helped like over 38,000 people across the world. If you want to learn more about him, you definitely need to go to the academyofwellness.com. That is his website. He's very easy to talk to and connect with, and he's just a wealth of knowledge. And I'm so glad I found him and was able to team up with him because
Me too.
we are both very passionate about helping people live a healthier life
Right.
and hopefully keeping people from losing their moms at too young of an age. He's even the publisher of a book about 101 ways. One of the clients he helped, so I will share this. He had a client, and the story always just kind of blows me away. He had a client back in 98 that was basically in hospice. He was told by the doctors to get your affairs in order because they had him on 28 different medications. He had 2 stents, 2 heart surgeries already. His arteries were still 90% blocked. And so they connected with Dr. Grant, and he asked him what he was doing, or what is he. Dr. Grant asked him, "What are you eating?" He says, "Well, I have eggs and bacon every morning for breakfast, like 6 strips of bacon and eggs." And he drinks Diet Coke. And he's
Oh,
like, "Yeah, no, that's bad." And so he told him what he needed to do to drink water, gave him the supplements that he needed. And the guy wasn't having bad. Go, "Well, I'll drink your stupid water. I'll do this." He says, "You can do that, or get your affairs in order." That's where it was at with this gentleman in
right.
'98. And so by '99, the gentleman was no longer on any medications, didn't have to have any more surgeries. His arteries were 50%, only 50%, blocked. And the man today, he's still alive and is 103. When
Oh
they
my
had him on his
God. I didn't know
98,
that.
and now he's 103. So you can make changes. It's a matter of wanting to. For one, you have to want to change,
Right.
and it can be lifestyle and recognizing and knowing we eat a lot of things, that we're like, oh my god, this tastes so good, but then we get gas or bloating, but it doesn't stop us from eating it again. But we're not really listening to our body, because when you get all
Right.
that discomfort and gas and everything else, your body's trying to tell you not to eat that. But we don't often listen. And so, yeah, there's some favorite things I've had. We've gotten rid of all the cheese in the house and dairy products, and because cow's milk is really not healthy and definitely is not healthy for us. So we got rid of all those products, and we have done much better for it. So sometimes there's adjustments, but that doesn't mean, oh my God, there's nothing out there that I can eat. Because as you know, with your clean eating, there's a ton of things out there we can eat. You just have to be creative and adventurous to try different things.
I know. And see, for me, I think that I'm really somebody that people should listen to because I was eating clean.
Mm-hmm.
right? And I was eating everything clean. I was washing my fruits and vegetables to get rid of all the toxins. I was doing everything correct. But the things that I was eating that were clean were not clean for my body. And even though they're good and they're healthy and they're good for all kinds of things, they're not good for me because my body doesn't process it, which was like I didn't even it was hard for me to wrap my head around that until I saw it right in front of my eyes. So let's talk about like what's the process, because it's really fascinating, I think, how if somebody who's listening goes, yeah, I want to do this complimentary scan, because people, I'm telling you, on my mother's grave, this is complimentary. We're not selling anything, we're not doing, we just want people to get healthy. And if you don't want to get healthy in a complimentary way, then you're not interested in your health. Like for me, Laura knows this. My goal in life is to be the first person in my family not to die of cancer. And I want to live to be 90. So this year I'm going to be 72, and knock on wood, I'm on the right track.
And you're looking great. But you just reminded me real quick too of a tip, because sometimes I washed my vegetables and fruits and sometimes I didn't. However, I did learn from Dr. Grant that washing them is not enough. You need to soak them in warm water for at least 10 minutes with baking soda and apple cider vinegar. So there is a healthy tip for you, because if you don't do that, it still has pesticides and stuff in it from all the manure, the stuff it grows in, and you will still wind up getting parasites even if you're eating fruits and vegetables.
Right. And when you soak it for 10 minutes or longer, sometimes I soak it longer because I forget they're in the sink. And you come back and you see all the crud that's built up on top of the water, and you're like, oh my God, I used to eat all this.
Yeah, I rinse them off, and then I do them all in one shot because I don't have time to keep doing each load. So when I go buy vegetables and fruits, I throw them all in the sink in one shot. I soak them, I do them, I rinse them off, and then I put them in Ziploc bags with a paper towel to help absorb the extra moisture so that they don't get all spongy. And that way I know they're already officially cleaned and ready to
Right.
go.
That's right. Okay,
Yeah.
so let's talk about the process. And like
Yeah.
if somebody is listening, which I hope they are, and watching, like what do they have to do? How can they get in touch? And what do they do if they have just any regular, just general questions?
Yeah, it's simple. So you can either connect with either myself or with Sherry. We're on social media, or we'll put a link up for our emails, but just connect with one of us and say, hey, I'm interested in having the complimentary scan done. And then the process then is for you to go to the academyofwellness.com and do the lifestyle IQ, because that's important to know what that number is and where you're at, so that when we meet for the scan, you can tell us what that number is. If you have any kind of medications or concerns and stuff going on, make sure you have that with you when we meet, and we will do the scan. Dr. Grant will be there. We will go over it with you. We will tell you what we're seeing, what supplements we recommend, and the rest is really up to you. It's up to you whether you want to move forward and make those changes and follow the recommendations, or you don't.
Okay, so you know that there's going to be people that are like, yeah, right. This can't be, this is too good to be true, right? So why don't we actually show them what our scans look like and what we did? Then they can see, hey, this is real. Because I'm happy to share my scan, because there's nothing on there there's no information on there that people can't see.
Yeah, and we're going to try this out because hopefully we can hear. So the first picture I'm going to show is going to be the picture of the voice print, and it's actually my voice print. A lot of people
Okay.
don't know your voice print is as unique as your fingerprint. So no one will have the same voice print as you. So this is what your voice print would look like, or something similar. So, and it's always all the colors. So it's also all the colors. So that's another thing. I love when we get to that part of the scan. It's always kind of fun to ask people what are their 4 favorite colors. And I can't tell you how many times people say black, white, or brown. Okay, black, white, and brown are not considered a color. We are talking colors of the rainbow, because this will bring up your chakras, and there's a reason for that. You might not know much about chakras or meridians, but it brings up all of that. And so from the voice print, it tells you, like I said, it's picking up your 3 highest frequencies and your lowest one. And that's what this report is going to focus on, because it wants to bring you into balance to the rest of your body. And so it brings up emotions. And the very first emotion it'll bring up, and I'll show you, this one is also for mine, the highest, this was one of my highest frequencies that it had. And this is what it showed: conditional love versus unconditional love. Now, when you see this, it will tell you this is in general what positive emotions and negative emotions can cause this. And it doesn't mean you're there. It just means you're on some kind of pendulum, somewhere in between. It just means you're on a pendulum somewhere in between that conditional and unconditional love. You're somewhere in that spectrum. And so that just shows you in general. And it shows you by having those feelings, it lights up on the side what organs, what muscles, what it is affecting in your body. And then the next thing that that scan will do, which is why we ask you for your favorite colors, it will show you what color is going to help to support you and to bring you back into balance. So for this one, mine was violet. And if I looked at violet, if I wear violet, because color and has vibrations, whether you're looking at it, wearing it, but that can support wealth, creativity, wisdom, self-dignity, devotion, peace, mystery, and independence. And then it comes up and it will tell you what emotions could have possibly caused this. It tells you potential causes, imbalances, suggestions. It tells me here that I was lacking in vitamin B and vitamin E. So it brings up a lot of information for everybody. And like I said, it's potential causes. Now, most people recognize the emotions right off the bat. However, you have to understand that these emotions could be things that you've experienced in your childhood or somewhere along in life that you thought you've dealt with, but you haven't. The reason it shows up on the scan is because it's still in your subconscious somewhere.
Right. And that's why some of us have to go to therapy.
Therapy, meditation, whatever works. And some of us just don't even realize or don't even know it's there, because it is in the subconscious, not the conscious. And there's a reason it's called subconscious.
The thing that I love about it is, especially when you get to the food portion with the colors, because what happens is the colors represent the foods you should not be eating or you might have been eating before your voice scan was done. But then once the scan is done, those are foods that you absolutely should not be eating because your body isn't processing. And I couldn't wrap my head around that in the beginning, but it's amazing that that's really true and how it works.
Yeah, the ideal range is always to stay in the blue and green range. Otherwise, you're starting to go towards severe or
Right.
critical there. And when it's the red and it's a high 9, then that means it's increasing inflammation in your body, which we know inflammation, a lot of people can get that from stress and other things, but it causes a lot of distress and disease in your body. And if it's a red 1, then it's starting to diminish functions in your body. So when we do scans with people, we are always looking for like the double reds. And here's a snapshot of what that looks like. So this is like the beginning of the report, and it says food sensitivities. Now, if you're seeing this, now this scan was done in November, there's turkey for me. And guess what? Turkey is a double red 9, which meant I had ate more than enough turkey because I was eating turkey, chicken, or
That
grass.
meant your body is like, no more turkey.
Yes. So, and I will tell you, I've rescanned myself. Turkey is fine now. But at that moment in time, my body had said, I have had enough turkey. And it was at Thanksgiving time. So Dr. Grant said, 1 slice. Okay. And then I could like move on because I already had the turkey. We were already making
But see, that's the cool thing is that in 3 months, you can do the scan again to see what's changed. Mm-hmm. Like I'm looking forward to mine's not till April, but I'm looking forward to it. But what I was going to say is about the colors. The colors in the beginning, I was just like, wait, why are the colors on one end of the scan one color? And then at the other end is another color. And then I learned that while your voice is picking up the frequency, those are the foods or whatever your body picked up. But then when the scan is actually done, those are the clear foods that you should or should not be eating, which is really amazing. But the other thing I wanted to say really quick is, a lot of people, if you're listening and you're watching from wherever you live, there's different companies that do these scans that you can pay $2,500 and go and get your whole body scanned, they put you in an MRI tube.
Yeah.
And then they send the results to your doctor. This is the exact same thing, only you're using your voice frequency and you don't have to lay in a MRI container. And the results are going to be told to you from an actual doctor who knows what he's talking about. So I can't stress enough that if you're having any issues with your health, no, if it's the littlest thing, even if it's just something simple like I'm not sleeping good, or I get headaches in the morning, or lately when I've been eating this food, I don't feel good. That never happened again. Honestly, a complimentary scan will do you a world of good.
Yeah. And everybody is different. So everybody's going to come up different. But the nice thing about this is you're not being subjected to any kind of radiation. You're not getting dyes injected in you, which
Right.
can cause you more problems. And it's been 98% accurate. And like we said, it's an MRI like, so you can still get a good sense of what's going on in your body. And if you're not sure or you find hard time to believe it, then take that information that you learn, ask your doctor about it. We can even, Dr. Grant can even tell you which tests they need to test for it. There's reasons why certain things go and don't go. And Dr. Grant is very good at explaining all of that.
What's really interesting is, I think I might have told you this, but I want the people listening to know every 3 months I have to go to the dermatologist and get my skin checked because over 20 years ago I had melanoma. And the reason I got melanoma is because I was one of those kids that laid in the sun and fried their skin, and then it peeled, and I was in pain, and I wore calamine lotion all summer long on my sunburn. Okay, that was me. So then when I went to the last time I went to the dermatologist, I told him, I said, I want to tell you something interesting that I did. I did this voice scan. And he was like, wait, what? Voice scan? What are you talking about? And he took out his laptop and he's sitting there looking up Dr. Grant. And he's like, wait, this is interesting. I think I like this. And I'm like, hello, I came here for you to look at my skin. And now we're on voice scanning, right?
Right,
But the
right.
good thing is that he was really interested and he understands the concept. And he said to me when I left, he goes, I can't wait when I see you in 3 months. He goes, it'll be 3 months, you'll get your scan. I can't wait to find out how it all works. So he's a doctor, and doctors are also interested in this. And I think it's something that I would love to see us partner with some MDs to help their patients, because it can't do anything but help people. This isn't a tool that if you try it or do it, something bad's going to happen to you. It can only help you, right?
Yeah. And there's a lot more the scan can actually do more than what we're even using it for. And I don't know if I had shared that with you, but you can actually scan your pets as well. You can imprint things. It's amazing what it is. It's, if you're familiar with Nikola Tesla and his with the Tesla coil and stuff, that's basically what it's based on. The frequencies and the energies. Even Albert Einstein said we are all energy,
Well, we are.
frequency, and that's how this works.
Yeah, I think it's amazing. So I'm just going to say it again. If you're having any kind of problem with your health, if you don't feel good, if you're not sure what's going on, or somebody in your family, especially if you have older parents or grandparents, or your kids are constantly telling you they don't feel good after they eat, whoever it is, please get in touch with us, because this complimentary scan, it could maybe save your life. You never know. I know people that have seen people on TV, and they got in touch with their managers and said, hey, I saw you have this little spot right here that doesn't look good on your chest, or your thyroid gland looks a little swollen. And they get in touch with people and go have a scan. And the next thing you know, they find out there's something really wrong with them.
Hmm.
And they do have to go to the doctor and take care of it. Now, I'm not saying that's for everybody, but it could, you never know when this could be like really a life-saving tool, right?
Yeah. So since I mentioned to you the fact that it pointed my jaw to my jaw, here is the picture, and it points right to where the problem is, and it knew that I clench my teeth at night.
Laura, that doesn't look anything like you.
A little less skin and muscle on that one, but
Oh my
um,
God. I know, it's
and
crazy,
the
right?
knees, and then there's the knee, the one that was cracking and popping. It pops up on here, so it's really wild, the pictures, and it will point right to
Right too, right.
the spot that it has had that is having an issue with you.
Exactly. Mine is too, like mine is like that too. Like I didn't know that there's one little bone in my neck that's a little out of whack. And that's why sometimes when I sleep, I get this little gnawing in my neck. I didn't even know that. I thought it was, oh, I'm sleeping wrong on my pillow, or I'm kind of, sometimes I'm a little bit of a wild sleeper. So I thought maybe it was that, but no, it's not. It's just crazy. All the things the scan picks up.
Yeah, and something else, and it picked this up. And note that I am in Missouri, and Sherry is in Los Angeles, California. Dr. Grant is in Canada. So, yes, we can do this with people anywhere. A lot of people think that you have to be there or in an office. It's like, nope, it's your voice. It can be done through the microphone, through Zoom. We've helped a number of people over in the Netherlands and Germany, Australia, you name it. There's no limits to this.
Yeah,
So,
and I'm excited about it. So I hope that for everybody that's listening, if you have any questions, get in touch with us. We will hook you up with the scan and we're going to help you feel better.
absolutely. So, anyway, I look forward to hearing from anyone that has even curiosity or interested. Love to see what secrets we can find out that your body is trying to tell you that maybe you haven't heard. So definitely reach out to us, and we look forward to connecting with you.